Hello, I hope you're well. Welcome again to this episode. In this video, we are going to cover part 9. And part 9 is all about methods of procurement of goods, works, and services. My name is Judith Kwamboka. I am your convener of this challenge to study the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015 with the revisions of 2022. Now, this part 9, covers section 91 to 114. But in this particular video, I'm going to cover section 91 to 95, and then section 96 to 114 will be covered in the next video. So quickly, methods of procurement of goods, works, and services. The preferred method for procurement in public procurement is open tendering. It is the most preferred because it promotes transparency, and then it also promotes fairness by giving everyone an opportunity to participate, and it also promotes competition, making it possible for the government or the public sector to get value for money by allowing many players to participate in it. However, depending on what you're buying and the value of what you're buying, sometimes open tendering is not the preferred method of procurement. So we have other alternative methods of procurement. But whenever you would want to adopt these alternative methods of procurement, ensure that you are meeting the requirements in terms of selecting that method and even the how to meet the requirements which have been provided in the Act and the subsequent regulations of 2020. The other thing you need to take into consideration when selecting alternative methods of procurement is adherence to thresholds. Each procurement method has thresholds. So ensure that you are within those thresholds when selecting a method of procurement. In regards to threshold, I think I will do a video that will help us understand the various thresholds that are there for the various procurement methods. So what are these other alternative methods of procurement? I've said the one that is most preferred is open tendering. What are these others? The other methods of procurement, they include, as per section 92, two-stage tendering, design competitions, we have restricted tendering, we have direct procurement, we have requests for quotations, we have requests for proposals, we have community participation, we have specially permitted procurements, this forced account, these framework agreements. So all that is highlighted under section 92. Section 93 of the Act talks about pre-qualification. There is a difference between pre-qualification and registration of suppliers. In our previous video, we talked about registration of suppliers. Today, we are talking about pre-qualification. When is pre-qualification done? Pre-qualification is done only for complex and specialized goods, works, and services. Read your section 93, subsection 2. Pre-qualification shall be for complex and specialized goods, works, and services. So there's a difference between pre-qualification and registration. Pre-qualification is done to identify best few firms for the subject procurement, and this is done prior to adopting alternative methods. Prior to, for instance, inviting firms to submit quotations. Prior to, for instance, going the restricted tendering way. So pre-qualification is done prior to, so that you have the best few firms who you can consider, who you can invite for the said procurement. And as I've said, it is done only for complex and specialized goods, works, and services. You have been given a pre-qualification procedure that is in subsection 3 of section 93. In conducting a pre-qualification procedure, an accounting officer of a PE shall publish an invitation notice to candidates to submit applications to be pre-qualified. Then subsection 4 has given you the contents of what should be in the invitation to tender. And while you're doing that, you should use a pre-qualification document, which is among the standard tender documents which have been provided by PPRA. So if you go to the PPRA website, you will be able to see the pre-qualification document, pick it and customize it to whatever that you are intending to invite people to be pre-qualified. Good, so section 94 of the Act, it gives you the details of what should be contained in that pre-qualification document. And please note that the entity shall allow, the procuring entity shall allow the candidates at least 14 days to prepare and submit their applications to be pre-qualified, at least 14 days. If it is too complex, maybe you can give it more than 14 days, but a minimum that is required is 14 days. Just like the other procurements, in pre-qualification, interested bidders can ask for clarifications, and you should be able to respond them without disadvantaging anybody who is interested in that tender. That means you avail these clarifications in a public forum, in your website. You can do a notice on the nationwide circulation newspaper so that anyone who is interested is not disadvantaged in any way. So once the 14 days, or if more than 14 days for preparation and submission are elapsed, then now you do an opening. There's an opening committee for that, and records are kept just as per the requirements of tender opening. Then an evaluation committee is appointed to go and carry out the evaluations. This evaluation must be based on the criteria that was in the pre-qualification document. One of the things that must be in the pre-qualification document is the evaluation criteria. If you go back to section 93, subsection 3, then you go to C. This invitation shall include a statement of key requirements and criteria to pre-qualify. So it is against that criteria that the evaluation committee is going to assess the applications that have been made. Then now they prepare an evaluation report which shows who was successful and maybe who was not successful. They submit their report to head of procurement, who prepares a professional opinion advising the accounting officer on who should be pre-qualified and maybe who should not. So upon approval by the accounting officer, then now you have your pre-qualified list, pre-qualification list. And that is the list now you're going to use to adopt alternative methods or procedures of pre-quali or of procurement. The other thing is that there is need for notification. You will notify those who are successful in the pre-qualification exercise, telling them that you have been pre-qualified as our suppliers, and those who are not successful, you will also simultaneously inform them about their failure and maybe why they were not successful. So that's the end of this video. In the next video, I'm going to discuss into details the methods, the various methods of procurement. Thank you. See you there.